short contemporary radio station in Zambia, connecting you to the newsmakers and events that make news in the global village.
Good evening, this is the 5FM Radio Main News, the headlines. Police open an inquiry file against PF Mafinga constituency member of parliament Robert Chavinga. ZRA seizes 300 cases of smuggled Konyagi beer. Air India crash victim's son says he received wrong remains. This bulletin is live on our Facebook page, 5FM Radio Zambia, and YouTube channel, 5FM Radio Zambia. With the details, my name is Lance Sannie Banda. The Zambia Police Service at Lusaka Central Police Station has opened an inquiry file following a report against Patriotic Front PF Mafinga constituency member of parliament Robert Chavinga for proposing violence by allegedly issuing threats aimed at Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba and former University of Zambia lecturer Dr. Sishua. The report was made yesterday by PF Member of Parliament for Chilubi constituency Francis Mulenga Fube. Confirming the development, Police Public Relations Officer Ray Hamonga notes that reports suggest that Mr. Chavinga has been seen and heard during the live broadcast allegedly threatening to deal with Mr. Emmanuel Mwamba and Dr. Sishua, accusing them of circulating damaging articles about him. He says in light of this, Mr. Chavinga will be summoned to assist with investigations as part of the ongoing inquiry. Mr. Hamonga has since urged all involved parties to remain calm and allow the due process of the law to take its course.
These threats were reportedly made during a press briefing conducted via an online live broadcast on Kalemba Media platform on the 20th of July 2025 around 10 hours. According to the report, Honorable Chavinga was seen and heard during the live broadcast allegedly threatening to deal with Dr. Sishua, accusing them of this conduct prompted Honorable Fube to. In light of this, the Zambia Police Service wishes to inform the public that Honorable Robert Chavinga will be summoned to assist with investigations as part of the ongoing inquiry. We urge all involved parties to remain calm and allow the due process to take its course.
Home Affairs and Internal Security Minister Jack Mwimbu has noted that the significant reduction in reported corruption cases, as outlined in the 10th Financial Intelligence Center FIC report, stands as a strong testament to the government's steadfast and deliberate efforts to root out corruption in all its forms. Speaking on the findings, Mr. Mwimbu stated that the decrease in corruption-related activities is the result of sustained policy interventions, institutional reforms, and a renewed political will at the highest levels of leadership. He further explained that the progress documented in the FIC report reflects the positive outcomes of improved coordination among investigative and enforcement agencies, the strengthening of legal and regulatory frameworks, and increased public awareness and civic participation in the fight against corruption. Mr. Mwimbu says such developments demonstrate that the government's anti-corruption strategies are not only yielding measurable results, but are also restoring public trust and enforcing the rule of law.
The UPND government's commitment to a transparent financial system. The FIC notes a marked reduction in public sector corruption cases compared to money laundering, fraud, and tax evasion, underscoring the effectiveness of our anti-corruption measures. Under the leadership of President Hakainde Hichilema, the government has declared zero tolerance to corruption and committed to fight past, present, and future corruption with no sacred cows. Through collaboration with the Zambia Revenue Authority, tax in 2024.
Development UPND has continued its ongoing sector briefings on national progress, with this week's focus on the health sector. Among the notable developments, the party highlighted the recruitment of over 3,000 health workers across Copperbelt province over the past 3 years. Addressing the media at the UPND national headquarters, Media Maximue outlined significant improvements in healthcare delivery, enhanced infrastructure, and efforts to expand medical services to underserved communities. A key highlight was the revitalization of doctor service, which was nearly defunct when UPND office. At the time, the service managed only one or two outreach missions per month due to outdated aircraft and poor facilities. Labor and Social Security Minister Brenda Tambatamba has stated that the theme for this year's Zambia Social Protection Week resonates well with the vision of government to tackle the underlying causes of poverty for effective eradication. The theme for this year's event is Life Cycle Approach, Leaving No One Behind. Ms. Tambatamba says this is an opportune time to deliberate on the progress and changes that have happened in the social protection sector that contribute to the learning process. She says in this regard, government has enhanced the policy and legislative framework to ensure that all citizens are supported in the development agenda. She has reiterated that government launched the revised National Social Protection Policy in March 2025, which gives clear guidelines on how the implementation of social protection programs will be undertaken. Ms. Tambatamba says government has enhanced child protection through the enactment of the Children's 2022. The minister said this in her speech delivered at the community engagement for the 2025 Zambia Social Protection Week in Lusaka.
The coverage of the social cash transfer program reaching over 1.3 million households, reaching 1.3 million households that are benefiting from the social cash transfer. When we talk about households, we multiply by 6, because usually the standard is that average would be 6 persons per household. So 1.3 households multiplied by 6 persons. You can imagine how many people the social cash transfer reaches.
Agriculture Minister Ruben Mtolo has told the National Assembly that the Food Reserve Agency is now buying maize in all the 10 provinces of the country in areas where the grain moisture content has reached the optimum level of 12.5%. Delivering a ministerial statement, Mr. Mtolo further says high moisture content levels can lead to increased microbial activity, which results in mold, mycotoxins, heating, spoilage, and decreased shelf life. He says this he thereby says this compromises the quality of the grain. Mr. Mtolo says the agency is closely monitoring the levels of grain moisture content in the areas which have not yet been opened. He says notwithstanding the urgency has now opened all the established 1,600 satellite depots. Mr. Mtolo says the Food Reserve Agency has protocols on the preservation of stocks for strategic reserves and that these protocols are clearly defined in the Satellite Manual Handbook. And in other news trending this evening, security operation jointly carried out by Zeski Limited and the Zambia Police Service has led to the arrest and detention of 32 suspects in just 24 hours. The Southern African Development Community SADC, along with the Ministry of Water Development and Sanitation and with the support from the German government, will host the SADC Resource Mobilization and Transparent Lusaka, Zambia, from 24 to 25 2025. Up next, the business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
The Zambia Revenue Authority ZRA has impounded a light containerized truck that was carrying 300 cases of Konyagi beer, concealed under sacks of carpenter, potatoes, and clothes. The truck, currently parked at ZRA Makeni Yard, was intercepted in Kapirimposhi on Saturday, 19th July 2025, and escorted to Lusaka for further investigation. The investigation has since revealed that this was a pure case of concealment, a form of smuggling. The beer and the truck has since been seized. Had the truck not been intercepted, the government would have lost 418,100 in tax revenue. ZRA senior corporate official Robert Zawe said the items declared for transportation included carpenter, potatoes, and motor vehicle rims, among other items, but the transporter failed to declare the Konyagi beer.
We are saying we are not going to pay a blind eye to all forms of smuggling. And as you can see, this is a clear case of concealment. You can see how the Konyagi was packed and concealed under other various items that were in the same light truck. So this truck that you are seeing here will be seized together with the Konyagi beer. This beer, had we not intercepted, the government would have lost 418,000 kwacha in taxes. So as ZRA, we are sending a message to transporters that every time they are carrying goods from the borders, they need to make sure that the goods they are carrying are correctly declared at our borders so that they avoid, their vessel being seized together with the goods that have been smuggled into the country.
Ends the business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
And in foreign news, the son of a woman killed in the Air India plane crash has told the BBC how the remains were found in her casket after her body was returned to the UK. The Daily Mail reported on Wednesday that the wrong bodies were being sent to loved ones following the crash, which killed 260 people shortly after takeoff in early June. All remains were handled with utmost professionalism and dignity, India's foreign ministry said, and that it was working with UK officials to address concerns. And in sports news, world number one Yannick Sinner has reappointed fitness coach Umberto Ferrara, with whom he parted ways following the investigation into his positive tests for a banned substance. Ferrara and physiotherapist Giacomo Naudi left the Italians team last August, 5 months after Sinner returned 2 positive tests for clostridium. Sinner was cleared by an independent tribunal of any wrongdoing last August, but the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, appealed against the panel's ruling that he bore no fault or negligence. The 23-year-old accepted a 3-month ban in February after reaching a settlement with WADA. And the evening is mainly clear, windy at times, and mild. That item brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, a recap of the stories that made headlines. The Zambia Police Service at Lusaka Central Police Station has opened an inquiry file following a report against Patriotic Front PF Mafinga constituency Member of Parliament Robert Chavinga for proposing violence by allegedly issuing threats aimed at Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba and former University of Zambia lecturer Dr. Sishua Sishua. The Zambia Revenue Authority ZRA has impounded a light containerized truck that was carrying 300 cases of Konyagi beer concealed under sacks of carpenter, potatoes, and clothes. And finally, the son of a woman killed in the Air India plane crash has told the BBC how the remains were found in her casket after her body was returned to the UK. For more news, follow us on Facebook and YouTube, 5FM Radio Zambia. On behalf of the entire news crew and the technical department, thank you for listening to the Happy World of 5FM. Stay safe and stay tuned to 5FM Radio. My name is Lance Sannie Banda. Enjoy the rest of the evening.